My task is to briefly introduce you the backbone of BMOBI's project and the idea of cross-border bike mobility or development of this tourism product. Bike mobility between Italy and Slovenia is the description behind the acronym BMOBIS, and that was the idea that while we are talking about mobility or a product, the border should not be an issue. And because we know that the geography is also a kind of a border, we took into account also mobility for the inhabitants. So these were two things that I'm gonna briefly talk about in this couple of minutes. There have been some explanations about the program, about the project, about the money that was involved in the project. So I'm not going to repeat this issue. I'm just going to say that it's important because with projects that have their start and end, we just support the whole process that is in the area, in the region. There are many projects that support the same process. It's a story that we are building together. It's good to know that we all, the all stakeholders, the users, share the same information. And not to forget that tourists that come into the region can feel better if the inhabitants have the infrastructure for themselves at the very beginning. And later on, this same infrastructure can be used for tourists. What we have done in the project so far. The final outputs are, of course, very important when we talk about investments, when we talk about different promotional materials, when we talk about networking, as you've heard before. But so to say, we went backwards at the very beginning. We said, okay, we want this sustainable mobility issue, and cycling and bike mobility is just one part of this larger story. So we prepared a kind of an action plan with soft measures that can be done by each stakeholders, by municipalities, by tourism organizations, and other maybe SMEs, and they all bring and they enlighten the importance of well-being for the people that stay here in the region for a longer period of time that they live here. On this map, maybe the front rows can see it. We see this area, it's quite a small one. Maybe we can call it just a pilot area because the bike mobility is a broader networking aspect. And this was just a showcase to show on a real example how one small circle, one small loop can bring some new initiatives into the region on both sides of the border. Now we have established this BMOBIS circle that is filling the gap of other important cycling routes in this region and, of course, out of this region as well. There have been two bigger investments, one on Slovenian side between Tolmin and Most na Soči, and in the Čedat municipality on Italian side, and some smaller ones with the other partners on this cycling round. Integration. Of course, infrastructure is needed, but without SMEs that use this infrastructure to actually develop the product itself, it's useless, or not useless, but less important. So we have developed together some promotional materials that can support this process and that can extend the duration. We talk about sustainability of the results. We don't want to simply stay at sustainability, but to go on with the process. The mayor said already that while planning the municipality budget, they have to think for the future years to improve this infrastructure, because it's like a puzzle. We have done only one of the needed. Many more still need to come. And I think that with these simple or low budget products that are supporting the investments and go hand in hand, we can really develop a destination that can then be integrated into a bigger area. And I think that this is it. I wanted to be brief and just to give you the backbone of this BMOBIS idea that will go on, I'm sure about that, also seeing a lot of faces that are committed to make it larger and successful in the future. Thank you.